League of Super Zeros. I am HJ4521,
Uh,
and these guys are.
oh yeah, my name is Wolf.
And it's voice with time.
And we are going to be talking about. Okay. And we are going to be talking about The Lion King 2019. Yet another movie in 2019 that you have to put the year it came out after the movie title because there's so many remakes and sequels and adaptations nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And remakes of movies that already came out. And for some reason, they don't change the title. So Lion King 2019 came out Friday before last. We are recording this on the 9th of August, so it's a Friday. It came out 2 Fridays ago on the 26th, I want to say. Might be off on that. Lion King 2019 release.
Not sure.
Yeah. Oh, so multiple weeks ago, July 17th. So that's a while ago. That's 3 Fridays ago.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
Okay. We're going to do some general thoughts first. What you guys think?
I personally liked it.
It was not the greatest. In my opinion, like it was okay to follow the story, but a few beats were off. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't 100% perfect. You know?
Yeah, I'm definitely there with you. So, the thing that did it in for me, they dragged it out. Like they found an extra 30 minutes somewhere, and I don't know where. But getting into like the second half of the movie, past like Baby Simba, it felt so long. I'm like, can we get to the end of this? Can we move things along, move the plot along? Because a lot of the stuff with like Timon and Pumbaa in the jungle, which we'll get to eventually, some of the comedy stuff, it just felt like they were hammering in more sequences and more scenes just for more runtime to make it longer. And the music they took out like my favorite song, "Be Prepared," Scar's song that he sings. It's like a spoken word thing. It's like he's reading a poem and there's like a marching tune in the background. It's bland. It's not as good or as long as the original.
Yeah.
You know, they originally weren't going to have the music in the movie at all.
Really?
They were just going to have it be, yeah. That would have been like
That wouldn't have
suicide.
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And then it's so it's so average.
Yeah, it's like
thing is, yeah.
It's like a 6 out of 10, to be honest. 6, 7.
I would go like 5 out of 10. I found it so average. Like, but the thing is, it made a ton of money, so of course it's gonna be like they're gonna keep doing them. Yeah, it already hit the $1 billion mark after 19 days, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So they're gonna keep making these remakes because people keep going to see them for some reason.
Well,
I mean, you went to see them. We went to see them.
It's just
we went to see them because we were gonna do this.
Well,
I wouldn't have gone to see this movie otherwise.
There are
wanted to do a. What else is playing right now that we could do a podcast on?
Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, bro.
That is also very average. I have heard. We couldn't do it on Dora because, come on.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Actually, you know, we probably could have done Dora just because it's probably such a stupid, pointless movie. We could have just critiqued and nitpicked every single thing in the movie.
Maybe.
We already did Spider-Man, Toy Story 4, Aladdin is still playing. Secret Lights of Pets 2. John Wick 3. See, I've seen that movie 3 times now, John Wick 3. It's not a very good movie to do in a podcast because it's just a good movie and there's not much wrong with it. Like, the only stuff you can critique with it is just all the assassin bureaucracy and criminal structure. But getting back to Lion King, I feel like it's good. It'll be a good discussion this episode.
Yeah.
Swift Time, your thoughts?
On the movie?
Yeah.
I said I liked it, bro.
Yeah.
Thought it was a good movie. I haven't
Anything
seen
in
the
specific?
original in a while.
What was your favorite part? May I ask, or do you even have one?
I mean, no, there wasn't really a favorite part. I just kind of like. I just don't think it was a bad movie. I think it was probably average. Like if I was to give it a number, I'd say like 7 out of 10 for me personally.
Okay.
Yeah.
We want to move on to
Topics.
the wheel.
Yes.
See,
Let's do it.
so hyped. There are a few topics on the wheel that I really want to get to.
I
see.
can't fucking read that. Can you find the love today?
Oh, so this is a stupid one. Both like me and you, both were like, it's okay. So Nala and Simba, adult Nala and adult Simba, after they meet in the jungle and whatever, are doing "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" Except it's the middle of the day, and they're just like, it's so dumb. And I
Yeah.
looked over at you, and you looked over, and we all looked at each other. We're like, middle of the day, and just laughed in the theater.
Can
There
you
were a
feel
few
the-
points. Yeah.
It's
So,
just
on theater, there were like at least 15 people behind us, I'm pretty sure. And I laughed at points that I don't think you were supposed to laugh at.
there are a few times in the movie where I think a laugh was justified.
But like the movie didn't want you to laugh. They wanted
Exactly.
you to laugh at the comedy parts. And that was one of the points where they're just it's midday, they're singing about their romantic love tonight, and then
Well, there's probably a reason for it, you know.
see, I don't know why, because right after they can still have the argument between Simba and Nala, and Nala's like, come back, help us. And
Well-
Simba's like, no, I'm just gonna stay here. And
Wasn't
then you
it-
just have
It wasn't it night in the original, so why would they change
Yeah.
it here?
yeah,
It's really
that's
weird.
the thing. And in this they could have just had like after Nala goes back, you could have just had Simba like meet Rafiki again.
Mhm.
Do the whole like fake Yoda that in the clouds thing, which they didn't really do. It was just like
Well, they
a
did
lightning
do it.
bolt in the clouds.
It was technically there, but it just wasn't like
His face.
fully done.
Okay.
They didn't have SFX, dude. You remember
No,
that?
they didn't.
They didn't
Yeah, I
have
do.
that.
And everyone thinks it's sex.
Yeah, I thought it was sex, even though it was special effects.
It's an easy confusion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we going on to the next.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So, please be a good one.
Please be a good. If there are ones you think aren't good, don't
Scar's
put them in topics.
song. Yeah.
So this is one that I really didn't like. I'll let you guys speak on this first, and then I'll say my piece.
I didn't notice it because I don't even remember Scar's song from the original.
I don't.
Okay.
I didn't remember Be Prepared that well either. Like in the original, all I know is it was a fully done up song rather than like being half-assed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in here it was completely botched.
Yeah, they half-assed it.
Like it was
That
technically
that
there.
in my opinion, the one scene that like, or not in my opinion, but like from my experience, it was the one scene that like actually felt weird and almost cringy.
Yeah.
See, the thing about it for me was, first of all, it's not a song. It starts out with like a tiny little marching theme, and then Scar like says his piece like he's making a speech, but it's the song lyrics, so it's like a poem pretty much. And then the second thing is, all during this time he's just like walking around and jumping up rocks and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's not like in the original there's like geysers going off and there's rocks falling, there's stuff like it's probably not really happening in the world, but it just makes it adds so much motion to the scene, and the song is so much better for it.
Right.
And this, it really isn't even a song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just some I don't know why they did that, because they had all the other songs in there. They all worked fine. But, well, what song did you think was the best in this new variation of the movie?
The best one out of like all of them?
Out of them in the new movie, yeah.
I don't know, because what is it? The one near the beginning, what is it?
Circle of Life?
No, just can't wait to be king. I think
Yeah.
that one was still as good as the original, at least I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really pay attention a lot to it, but it was definitely different than the original because they didn't have like a lot of, you know, the same thing. It was different.
Sure.
And then what is it? Hakuna Matata. I think that song too was actually a little bit different as well because they
That
implemented.
song was exactly the same.
Well,
as
it was.
Fun Fact.
I mean, like in
Pretty
terms
much. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
It's the closest they got to a song from the original.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which is probably because I think that song is almost everybody's favorite song. So
And
they
it's
didn't
pretty
wanna
much
change that.
it's like one of the simplest ones to do because it is just them like walking through the jungle,
Yeah.
talking about how great it is to just live life.
Yeah. Anyway, next topic.
Yep.
Sure.
Y'all.
Baseline, I didn't like his first song.
Yeah, that was the only one
has
that
to.
like actually felt weird for me.
Mufasa's death. Oh, do I have a word for this one?
All right, you start. You go. Say your piece.
So in the original, I don't know. So in the original, of course, the delivery of the line, "Long live the king," was very good. You know, it was a low, like that grumbly voice. You know, the
intimidating.
Yeah, the very.
And then.
Scratch
Okay,
like
yeah,
that.
Go on.
Yeah, the whole scratchy thing with like the, that. And that delivery of that line was great, and just the throwing off of it too. You know, in the original, he just lets go, but in the new one,
he leans in on his. He like shanks his claws out and then leans in on Mufasa, so Mufasa like is forced to let go.
But like, in the new remake, he fucking that delivery was botched. The delivery was botched, and then the death was botched because he had to physically hit him.
Yeah, Scar smacks Mufasa.
And then he just sort of like
and
falls.
I out loud. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, afterwards, like when Mufasa is dying, like falling, when what is it? When Simba is looking at him, that's also wrong.
It's just Simba opening his mouth. He looks normal as all, and then it's just a hard zoom out, like straight as he screams.
Exactly. No! Because like what happens was in the movie, a lot of the expressions were botched, of course, because they didn't do anything with the eyes ever.
Yeah, so, we'll get to that. It's a whole topic.
Everything, that whole scene was just botched in general. Like it's still went with the whole part of the movie. You know, it was still like to show what happened, but it just was wrong. Like in general, just everything just was off.
Yeah, I agree with it. It made so there's so much less emotion, and I don't really want to go into it here because I know I put a whole cheese on the wheel for this. But the no emotions thing, because they all have the same expression all the time, like they don't have any eyebrows on them, the eyes aren't very expressive, like they just look like lion eyes, and the lions like by nature just look sad all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just weird.
Yeah, 'tis an odd thing.
Swift time, anything to comment?
Nah, not from me.
Alright.
Okay.
Next.
Yeah, next topic. Please be the one I want to talk about.
The hyenas.
Okay, so I have this one on here just because. Wait, which one is it? Just the hyenas? That's it?
Well, it's non-ed and non-bonsai. Bonsai?
Not Ed and Not-Bonzai. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there were the two hyenas where it's so Ed and Bonsai from the original. It's Ed, Bonsai, and Shenzi. Shenzi is still in this, but I don't think it's Ed and Bonsai.
Mm-hmm.
They did. It's Keegan Michael Key and someone else. I don't know who plays the other hyena, but they had the stuff where it's like one of them is laying down and the other one just like lays on top of him. He's like, "Go away, I'm here." That, which they had like twice in the movie. Once like in the cave and once on the cliff. And I don't know. It's just
It's their.
I don't know why they were there. It's pointless because the comedy I don't think was good.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't stay with like. Do you remember those points where like?
Well, I think that. What is it? Well, when it came to like the what is it? When it came to the hyenas, especially in the remake, they didn't seem as much of a as much as characters as like they were in the original. They just seemed like they were there just to drive a point.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to go on a tangent right here. Did you feel like the non-main character animals were intelligent in any way? Because they kind of seemed like they were just like normal animals,
Right?
Yeah.
doing normal animal things.
Yeah. No, it's just a lot of the characters in this game. It's like, or game. Movie. Sorry. I got distracted, but a lot of the characters in the movie seemed like they just followed their animal characteristics more than anything, which is a little odd because in the original they barely did that. Only with like the lion roars and shit and like some of the fighting scenes. But like a lot of it just seemed off because they followed the characteristics so close that they didn't really, it wasn't as if the character was portrayed right. Like especially with Timon and Pumbaa, Timon fucking the entire time he's like twitching around and like messing with them. Like it was really weird. Like he was acting like the animal he was instead of being his own character. Like what?
He seems like Timon. I thought he was the most expressive.
Yeah.
Because his animal moved the most, and he could be expressive by moving around and like his head bobbing, and he could stand on two legs and like move his hands around.
Yeah. No, to be honest, I think Timon and Pumbaa were probably the two best characters in this.
Definitely
in terms of like their characters and everything, because it's literally just Seth Rogen and a gay guy. It's great. Like, I just thought their characters were actually decent. I thought they were pretty good, to be honest.
An entertaining pairing.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought they portrayed their characters very well.
Anything to say on the topic, Swift Time?
Not really.
Well, there will be topics. There will be. All right, next one.
Okay, next. Sure. Oh, excuse me.
Which one is it going to be?
CGI and Realism.
Darn it. Okay. This one. How realistic did you think the movie looked?
Pretty dang realistic, in my opinion.
It wasn't bad. Most of the movie looked pretty good. It looked like a Hollywood quality, like normal looking animals with lip sync. It looked like something better than Doug with a blog. So
oh, definitely, yeah.
So
but that's like the bare minimum.
Exactly. Like it looked like the animals were talking, as if they would talk,
Sure.
Like it didn't look botched really at all. It looked natural. It's just the expressions. That's all.
Yeah, they don't have any expressions.
Exactly.
That's a dumb choice.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can see the appeal if they either went all in one way or the other. Like they made a complete. Have you heard of It's an idea I heard, but what if they had made this as like you take a bunch of documentary film footage and then just dub over the animals with voices?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they can do that. But I
Yeah,
think
but they didn't.
here's the thing about that
How
is
well did you think it would work?
they'd have to find cohesive, like they'd have to find clips that
Yeah, I
make
know.
sense,
That's the thing.
and they just have to do that the whole time. But it would take so much longer to do that than just using 3D models and animating them. You know,
Yes.
when you think about it, because like it's just one of those things where it's just like it's probably it takes a shit ton more money, but it probably takes less time to just animate it rather than having to go and get all the footage together and then make the shots look good, make sure everything lines up in terms of story, have the correct locations,
yeah, that's
the correct
definitely
sets.
why they
You know,
why they chose to do what they did with like the fake live action CGI stuff.
exactly.
But what I see, oh darn, I lost my train of thought.
Nice.
Swift time stall for like 10 seconds.
For 10 seconds, wow, you're asking me to do a lot here.
Well,
I mean, I thought the realism looked good. Like overall, like obviously there wasn't much emotion in the faces.
Oh, I
but
remembered.
mean,
Okay, stop
all right,
stalling.
there you go. I'm done.
All right. So, I thought the animals looked too clean for being wild animals.
too clean.
And
Actually,
Yeah,
I thought
but
there is something where it's like
if they want to go realistic, like dirty them up, like put some dirt or whatever on them.
I
don't know.
think at times it did look like they did change like how dirty they were. Like there were some scenes where it looked like Simba did have dirt all over him, you know, and then it looked it looked like as if they were, you know, out in the wild at least a little bit. I mean, I didn't pay a lot of attention to like how the models looked at times, but I know for a fact that it wasn't 100% clean all the time, you know.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Only one I really noticed it with was Pumbaa.
Hmm.
I thought he looked like pretty dirty, being a boar.
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
Right.
I agree with you there.
But other than that, I didn't really notice it, and I personally, it wouldn't have bothered me whether they were or wouldn't. If anything, I would prefer them not being dirty.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like with it being a kids movie, it goes along with that better.
Right. Well, yeah.
I'm there. I agree.
Yep. All right.
Next topic.
Next. Sweet.
Things we want to talk about.
It's gonna be the
Hyenas.
last one.
Oh God. Let me just read this real quick. Hyenas overeating does not cause trees to die and water to dry away.
This is a quick one.
Oh.
But yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
The hyenas eating all the animals doesn't cause all the water to dry up and all the plants to die. It's so dumb.
That was a bit of an over dramatized thing, considering how realistic they made the rest of the movie. Like, if they were gonna do that in the first place, I feel like they could have over animated a lot of other things to kind of make it flow well with the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was one of the few things that I thought was definitely a bit weird and off that they did.
Yeah, it's a little odd that like hyenas overeat. Apparently they overeat the grass and the trees and everything
Yeah.
else too. They just destroy everything in their path.
You know what they say, bro. Hyena's belly is never full, alright?
Yeah, so they eat the grass and shit.
The trees drink all the water.
Yeah,
All of the
movie
water.
takes place over around 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like from the one shot in Hakuna Matata where Simba's growing up. That's 2 years. That's only 2 years.
Yeah.
So
apparently they can eat the entire African like wildlife, everything.
I honestly thought you were gonna say African rainforest. I'm like,
No, safari. Sorry.
Savannah.
Savannah, whatever.
Anyway, yeah.
It's a little
Definitely.
ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Moving on.
Okay.
Moving on. That was a quick one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He said it was a
gonna be
quick one.
I know. That's why I said it was a quick one. I said it because he said it.
The comedy.
All right, what'd you guys think of Timon and Pumbaa? I thought best part of the movie,
Yeah.
Yeah.
comedy, easily.
Yeah, for
Come
sure.
on, we need controversy. We can't just all agree.
What? They were a good duo.
They were actually trash. I hate Seth Rogen.
Here's the
Terrible
thing.
actor, terrible
Here's the
comedian.
thing. I
They all
think that
suck. The movie was terrible.
I think at times to convey the characters that Seth Rogen and whoever the fucking actor for Timon was actually probably
Billy
did
something.
whoever actually did better than the originals at time. I think that they were a little bit funnier.
I think Seth Rogen, right, definitely did better than original.
Who would have
Yeah.
who would have thought that an actor that literally plays in like every comedy ever would be funny?
It's Billy
Huh.
Eichner plays Timon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that like they tried to keep the characters the same, but they somehow changed it, and it just made it better. Just even like the voice change.
Those were the only two characters that, in my opinion, were even close to being better than the original, though.
Yeah, they were honestly like they somehow changed them to just be better. Like they didn't change them, but they were just better in general. Like they're still the same characters, just like improved.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Next, I guess.
Because
Did
there
you-
wasn't really.
Well, we did laugh at parts we probably weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
Like Mufasa's death.
You two did. I did.
Well, yeah, but that's because you liked the movie.
Yeah.
I can't fucking. Okay, hold on.
Oh my gosh! Put
Oh
on
my
your
God.
glasses.
I can't. I'm reading it. Ah!
Oh my
Don't scream
lord.
like that. Not on the podcast. You gotta keep spinning.
It's just gonna spin forever, dude.
Yeah. You got the same one twice. What are
Trailer
the odds?
talk.
Oh, this is the one I wanted. Okay,
Good.
let's go through the trailers that we saw. Right. First one was what I thought was like a commercial for for like AMC. Right. I leaned over to you, Swift, and I was like, I think this is a commercial for AMC. But no, apparently there's a movie like where there's like it's. So I want to talk the trailers mostly specific because of one that we saw that I want to just talk about for like 10 minutes because I have so much to say about it.
Okay.
So the first one was like there's a snow monster that has like the power to control the earth or whatever, and then it's like running from like a monster, and there's a little girl who's also trying to protect the snow monster or something like that. I don't care about it at all whatsoever.
Mhm.
Another one was the Maleficent sequel. It
Never watched the
looks
first one.
whatever. Yeah, I've never seen the first one though. From what they're doing with the character, I've read the plot of the first one, and it seems like they're just getting rid of all the character development they did with Maleficent in the first movie.
Seems
Because she's
legit.
not completely evil in the first movie, and in this, she just because her daughter is getting married to some guy, she like goes off the rails, like curses the kingdom again or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not doing it for no reason. Like from what I saw in the trailer, shit ends up just hitting the fan, but for a reason. It's not just because she's marrying him.
Yeah, I guess. Stall for like 10 seconds.
I don't honestly remember any of the other trailers.
I didn't care for any of the trailers. Maleficent looks eh.
Had cool special effects, but that's gonna be the main thing with any big budget movie.
Exactly.
I'm trying to remember. Okay, so we saw the trailer for Mulan again.
Mulan. Yeah.
Mulan.
I don't know how to say it. Okay.
Nice.
Mulan.
Mulan.
Looks average, whatever. I don't know if there's going to be the music in it. I don't know if the little dragon guys, Mushu's going to be in it. I don't know. He better be in it.
Yeah, if he's not in it, I'm not watching it. It's just
You
how
serious?
it's gonna be. He's the only character I like from Mulan.
Yeah.
And then we also
from what
saw
it looks like they're gonna honestly fuck it up entirely.
they haven't showed him at all
You
either.
have to see.
Let me
Yeah, no, they have.
let me see the cast list. Mulan
It looks like they're
2019.
trying to go for more of a historical movie than
It
an animated.
does. Yeah,
musical.
like it's 2020 Mulan 2020 IMDb. Let me see if they've cast anyone for Mushu. Geez, you would think if they did, he'd be a bit further. Yeah, there's nothing on here for Mushu.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
Mulan,
We'll see for sure, but it doesn't look like it.
It does not look like it. Okay. Then we also got one for Angry Birds 2.
Oh yeah.
Who cares?
I forgot that. I forgot that it was a
It's
movie.
Yeah, I don't know how it.
It's because sequels make money, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday, you and I, Swift, about how like there's no original ideas anymore.
Yeah, sequels make money, dude. That's just
or no good original ideas, where it's just a sequel or a remake or an adaptation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
or the go on.
It's just sequels. When there's a popular first movie, so when you have a movie like Angry Birds, which actually wasn't that bad, it was a decent movie, and I think it did well.
It definitely did well.
Yeah, exactly. So if you just make a sequel, it's something that parents can go take their kids to again. It's just gonna make a shit ton of money.
Shut up for like 2 hours.
Exactly. You don't even have to put that much work into it. You just make a sequel, and it's just gonna make money. It's the same.
And the story can be whatever because it's a sequel.
I think they're probably gonna do the same thing with Frozen 2 when that comes out. It's just gonna be a sequel.
Can I say something about Frozen 2 really quickly?
What is that?
So this is. I see this with a lot of animated movies now. So in Frozen 2, pretty much the only thing that looks like a typical animated movie are the character models. Everything else looks like they're going for complete realism.
Yeah, definitely shouldn't do that.
Especially the first scenes from the trailer where it's like Elsa on the water. She is the only thing that is remotely animated. Everything else is like Lion King, where they're using a computer to simulate real life.
Right.
I don't think they should do that.
No, it takes away the immersion of it.
And the last trailer we got, you guys remember what it was?
No.
What? Cats.
Oh,
we don't talk about that movie.
We don't talk about it.
We don't need to talk about it. We already know how it's gonna turn out. There's no question. There's no doubt.
Oh, how's it gonna turn out?
I think how it's gonna turn out is
being released in the same week as Star Wars.
The only people.
I'm just waiting to see a Natsu cat personally.
The only
if I see
people.
A Natsu cat, I'll go see it.
Okay, the only people that are really gonna, I think, really enjoy the movie are gonna be theater buffs.
Theater nerds, yeah.
Exactly. I think.
And weird furries.
And weird furries.
The weird furries.
The weirder ones that think the movie looks good. But yeah.
I don't think theater buffs will like the movie.
Theater buffs might like the movie.
Oh, I think they will.
There is a theater buff. She doesn't seem excited for the movie.
Okay. Oh. Maybe people who liked the musical.
See,
I'm pretty sure she loved the musical.
Okay, let me look up the release date.
It just fucking looks terrible. Your eyes need to be bleached after looking at it. You can't make up for that with story, plot, anything.
So it comes out December 20th. That is the same day as Star Wars, and
I'd honestly rather go see another generic Christmas movie in theaters than watch that. Not gonna lie. That's because I like Christmas movies.
Some biopic.
Right.
Personally.
Yeah, I don't know how it got made. So I think I might have said this to one of you, but usually movies like this, where they invent some new technology, because they invented what they have called.
Said this to me.
Yeah. All right. Well, might not have told Psycho. They invented this digital fur technology stuff.
Oh, yeah. I watched someone explained it. They made like a whole new like digital fur technology, like this whole new engine just for the movie. It's
Yeah.
dumb.
And usually what happens is for movies like this where they have a whole new technology, they have to do
A whole new world.
No.
pretty much a tech demo for it.
Yeah.
So for this is one that I know for sure is that for the original Aladdin, what they did to get how am I forgetting his name?
Will Smith.
No, original genie.
Oh,
I should know his
shoot, I don't
name.
remember his name either.
Aladdin 1992 cast.
I know. I remember who
Robin
it is.
Williams?
Yeah, Robin.
Yes,
Williams.
Robin Williams. To get him on board for the movie, the animators animated some of his stand-up, and they like showed it to him like, "This is what you're gonna look like as the genie," and he's like, "Oh, cool, I'll do it."
Really?
Yeah, they animated some of his stand-up comedy from a while back,
Nice.
and so for most tech stuff like that, they have to do something. So they like applied the cat's technology to somebody somewhere and showed it to like an executive like, this is what we can do, and that executive's like, yes, green like this,
Oh my god.
and release it the same week as Star Wars. I'm really hung up on this Star Wars thing. Like even a bad Star Wars movie, a ton of people still go see.
Yeah, it's just I think the cat's movie is that good. They're just doing everything wrong. Like
Yeah.
the movie
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like set design and all that, like it looks good. Character design, not so much. Release date, god awful. But
Set design it's interesting because of what the movie's
it's
about.
yeah, it's the fact that like they had to design it so it's the side like everything is as if
To
you
like
were
a
a cat.
cat's size. Yeah.
Exactly.
But the thing is, they went like the halfway point between having them all in costumes or just having them as people.
Mm-hmm.
So they like put the fur on them, but they only applied it to like the body. They don't have like animal hands or feet or like faces. They don't even have like a cat nose. And it looks so off. God, what were they thinking?
Yeah.
And also, they show pretty much the entirety of it.
Mhm.
I have heard that the plot is actually kind of insane.
Right.
From what I've heard, so there's a cat that gets lost, and all the other cats have to find him, and it's also like the night of, like this cat talent show, where like the winning cat gets into heaven.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Stupid.
It's stupid.
Yet it's an award-winning play.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Okay. Listen, the musical is not bad, but the
Yeah,
movie is
award-winning
gonna be...
play. Yeah, exactly. It's play, not movie.
Exactly.
It's from
That
in
still doesn't mean it's a
1981.
bad plot. That means it's generally a great plot. If it's gonna be that good. Or
Okay, it's
said
one
to
of
be
those
that
things where it's just like nothing with the movie is flawed except for the
The character design.
except for the character design. Because I
and
bet
Hail Hitler, but
And the Heil Hitler at the end.
well, yeah. Yeah. Anything
Yeah.
else, or are we gonna move on with Lion King?
Fine, move
we
on.
can move on with Lion King.
Exactly. Thank
No,
you.
it's just like, how can we talk about cat? Right, there was a trailer for it in the Lion King movie about Lion King. All right, Cats movie. Here we go.
Exactly. If I can,
What's this one? Oh, that's a repeat.
is there's gonna be a lot of repeats.
It
until I
is.
get
There's
one?
going to be a lot. Keeps
Bruh.
them, keeps.
Why don't you just get rid of the old ones as you go?
Because then you gotta make a new wheel
Every time.
Except the only difference is hitting X and then one
Uh,
button. It's 2 clicks.
Goodwill of the popular actors.
So this movie has some absurd goodwill writing on it just because the people they cast, they are all big name either singers or media figures. And so criticizing anyone for the voice acting or anything like that is gonna seem like it's an attack on the movie or some crap like that. Like the cast is they see. Also, the weird thing is they got back like James Earl Jones from Mufasa, but literally no one else. No one else is the original voice actor. So
Right.
they got Beyonce as Nala. I don't know why she's not an actor. That's another thing I'm starting to get sick of is casting these like singers and music video artists in big movies. Like same with Donald Glover as Simba. He's a rapper.
He's an actor.
He's an actor?
Yeah,
I thought he was
Donald
a rapper.
Glover is.
Donald Glover is an actor, you fool.
No,
What's he been?
Childish Gambino is just his character that he uses for rapping.
Oh.
Like he has a rap career, but they're two.
What
He
is
like
has a
his
two
rap
separate.
career, a
What's he been?
comedian career, and an acting career.
Yeah, like it's two. It's like almost two different people when you think about it. Because he's an actor, but also like he has his acting, and then he has his rapping. It's like two different things, you know.
And his comedy, which
Yeah,
is
I'm gonna
exactly.
check out
mainly
his.
known for.
He was in Solo as Lando, The Martian as some guy, and The Lion King as Simba. Those are his best known for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Spider-Man: Homecoming as Miles Morales. He played Miles Morales in Ultimate Spider-Man. Okay, it's kind of cool. Seems like that's his biggest stuff that he's done. He was in Community a bunch. That's it.
Oh yeah. He's not. He's a big name, but it's not. He hasn't.
He hasn't
like,
been
a
in a
whole
lot of
lot.
big stuff.
Exactly.
He needs to get in a Marvel movie. That really raises your
He's
cred.
been in a
Okay.
Marvel movie.
Okay. Oh, that's true.
Oh.
But now he can't be like a big main character.
Jake Gyllenhaal comes back.
Dude, I hope he's
Gyllenhaal?
not dead.
God, dude.
I really hope Mysterio is still alive and he just faked his
No,
death.
it's okay. Let's not.
They need
Lion
to do the
King.
Sinister Six. Fine. Seth Rogen is Pumbaa.
It's
Fine. I'm glad they replaced the original.
okay because Seth Rogen actually did a good job. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
just because the funny comedy guy, you know, like he actually did a good job.
Oh yeah.
That's 'cause Seth Rogen can actually act.
Yeah. No, he's
Who
like
voiced that?
he's a no. It's two. There's two sides to voice acting. Like you got to have a voice and you got to be able to act. That's why it's called voice acting. And I think that Seth Rogen, even though he's just like this comedy actor, he can do both. Like he knows how to act. He's a good actor. So,
Yeah.
You know.
I don't think anybody was ever questioning his acting skills.
exactly. Like he
Probably all
just
on the consensus that he was just generally good.
yeah, he just did a really good job in this movie.
All right. Billy Eichner as Timon. Let me see
He
what
did
this guy's been in.
Did an excellent job, I think.
Yeah, I liked him. He was fun.
He
Let's see
did
what
better
he's
than the
been in.
original, I think, at times.
His biggest names were Lion King, The Angry Birds movie, Neighbors 2. Wait, so isn't he?
I've never heard of him, so I don't think he's been in much.
No, it doesn't seem like he's a big name, but looks like he might actually. Seth Rogen in Angry Birds 1? No, he's not. Okay. A lot of these actors, though, are in Lion King. Keegan-Michael Key's in Lion King as well as let me see. Oh, he's one of the hyenas. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of big names in this, of course, for no reason, but they at least do an okay job. Like I think there was no acting that was like bad. You know, their names are in there just for the paycheck, because Disney.
Yeah.
You know,
It's actually one that I don't think they were there just for the. Well, some of them, obviously.
Some of
like
them.
Beyonce,
Yeah.
Not
no,
there
it's just because if you're a big name, because you're a big name, it's easier to get that, to get the job, and because it's
What
Disney,
is this?
you're getting paid a lot.
Yeah, I think
So-
a lot of actors though probably took the because they actually liked
Yeah.
the original Lion King and like grew up on it. So
Well, I would imagine people who actually did like a super great job, like I think Seth Rogen and that other dude, They did a really good job. I think it just wasn't because of the Disney paycheck, you know.
Yeah.
I think they did a pretty good job.
Okay. John Oliver as Zazu. I don't know why
he
he's
did
there.
he did he did a good job as Zazu.
Yeah, he's fine.
He portrayed like the original, just made it a little bit different.
Yeah,
Like,
except his character is like the worst emoting in the movie.
oh
'Cause
no,
the
he
bird,
literally doesn't have any
all I could do
emotion.
was turn his head.
He literally doesn't have any emotion.
Yeah.
Like that's on the animators though. That's not on the character. Like that's not on the acting.
Yeah.
He did a fine job. It's just they botched his animation and character design.
Definitely. J.D. McCrary as young Simba. This seems to be his breakout role. It looks like.
It's a young voice actor. He did a good job.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like he's a singer too, so that's a
Oh.
good thing. They cast a singer for like a mainly singing part.
Well, yeah. If they're gonna have
That's
someone singing, they gotta have someone who
They
knows
gotta
how to
have a
sing.
singer. Exactly.
You
That's like
can't just have it as just like a. He's just like a normal kid who doesn't know how to sing at all.
Yeah. If it's a well-named actor, obviously they can just give them singing lessons.
Yeah.
And then
Or auto tune their voice like The Rock in Moana. It's a very
I didn't
specific,
notice that.
very specific one. But
Well, the Rock,
Yeah.
the Rock and Mulan, he did a. I didn't.
Moana.
Moana.
My man said Mulan. I'm like,
I am
Fuck.
so.
Could you imagine?
that
I am
movie's not
so
out.
out of it. I'm so out
he
of it
plays
right
Mushu.
now. But
Yes, The Rock
in
is
in
Mushu.
Moana,
Mulan.
all I know. Shut
Moana.
the fuck up. In that movie that he's in,
Called
the animated
Moana.
one,
Called Moana.
Moana, he sung his song good. He did it. He knows how to sing.
He said Moana. Said it right.
I did say it right. Okay.
Good job.
Anyway, back to Lion King. Embarrassing moments with Cyborg.
My man says
next-
Moana.
Shut.
Like,
Next topic, I
fucking
suppose.
cow.
Next topic. Let me just spin this until I get something. I'm not even gonna show it on screen.
Okay. Who
got
would,
that
who
already.
would The Rock be in, like, Mulan? Let me see.
Voice acting.
We kind of already talked
Yeah,
about that.
I thought it was good. Everyone did a good job.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
There wasn't like standout like, wow, that's some terrible acting right there. Overall, it was
What?
pretty good. I said
Oh.
there wasn't anything that was like that.
Finally, animals emoting.
Oh, yeah. We've been going over this the whole time. I think the choice to make the movie realistic and not like a stylized realistic where you can still have the faces but still have the backgrounds look amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Because really the only thing they're missing are the faces. That's
Yeah.
it. The bodies look fine.
It's just when it came to animation, they'd never. When it comes to expressions, eyes are half the expression. So it's the fact that they didn't do much with the eyes in general and just the mouth that ruined everything. Because in the original Lion King, there's a lot of shocked expressions where it's
Yeah,
mouth
like
agape
after
and
Mufasa's
wide
death.
eyes. You know,
Yeah.
it's and
And
they
the
don't.
stampede.
Yeah, and they don't have that a lot. Like in the remake, you know, it just looks like especially during the stampede, right? In the original, when Simba's running, like the entire time he's got like this like worried you know, this, what is it? Like worried face the entire time.
Concerned.
Yeah, like a
worried if he's gonna
concerned.
make it out alive.
Exactly. Which they don't convey that in the remake at all. It's just
No.
like
The
they
word you
don't.
guys are looking for is shooketh.
shooketh, yes. A shooken face.
Shaken. Shaken. That's
Shut.
the word we're looking for. Not shooken.
Shooken.
No. Shooketh.
It's shooketh. But yeah, they don't have that expression at all. They have that expression a million times in the movie. Like they have it at least 6 different times, like I can count. And they never properly do that.
Just compared 1,000,000 to 6.
Listen. They have it a fair few times in the movie, but they never convey it right. Like what is it?
No.
In
They,
what is it? Mufasa's death. Like two, 3 times. The stampede, Scar at the end when when he gets scared and everything. There's another shocked expression there. Like when he starts to get scared, nothing happened.
yeah, like when the hyenas start closing in on him.
Yeah, and all that.
They're about to eat him.
A few times, like when they're in the elephant graveyard, there's a few times where they're supposed to get like a little frightened and they don't. Like it just doesn't convey very well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like half of like everything, like all the expressions just feel like
It's because they're not there. The lions, they can't do anything but like open their mouths.
exactly.
It's the voice acting that has to carry the whole movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like even if they're doing their best, the expression just isn't there.
Right.
So they don't look like they have emotions for the animals, and
Yeah, it just doesn't seem right.
no.
Just everything looks off the entire movie.
All right.
Yep.
Next, is there like any left? I think there's like 2.
I don't know.
You guys know they apparently
did
added a
11.
mech suit to Fortnite.
Okay.
Added what?
Like
Do you
a
wanna
mech
just,
suit
like-
to Fortnite.
Do you want to like just
Oh, after this Lion King part, we're gonna still be here talking about stuff. There's a lot of stuff.
okay. Well,
Like,
I
I
think
want to
we
talk
can
about some Comicon stuff.
I think that we can just like probably skip over whatever was left. I think we talked
Yeah.
enough about this.
Let me check. Let me check the Discord. I have all the wheel. We went over the emoting, the comedy, the CGI and realism, Mufasa's death, trailer talk. Can you feel the love today? Scar's song, Hyenas Overeating, blah blah blah. Voice, Goodwill. Yeah, we hit everything.
Okay.
That was everything. All right.
Yeah.
So next up, since we've been off a few weeks, wanted to talk about some of the stuff that came out from this year's Comic-Con, mostly the Marvel stuff.
Mhm.
So, have you seen the Marvel stuff? I posted a picture, if you scroll up a little bit in the podcast channel, of all the movies and TV shows Marvel has slated for the next 2 years.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. And anything that says Disney Plus under it is a TV series for Disney Plus.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And
So wait, so Hawkeye, Loki, and
Hawkeye, Loki, What If, WandaVision, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier are all
Okay.
TV shows. And
Got
What If is an animated series, but it has like all the actors from the movies voice acting.
Hmm.
Where it's like, what if Thanos won, or what if like
Is that
all
what
the-
If is gonna be?
that's
It's
what
just
What If is about.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's just a
about
bunch of
dreams.
what if situations. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is going to be a horror style movie, which I'm really hyped for. People have already theorized the villain is Nightmare, a bad guy. He's like a Marvel. He's up there in like the tier of Marvel characters that are pretty much close to gods.
Hmm.
Black Widow's bad guy is going to be Taskmaster, and a character named Yelena. I don't know much about her, but Taskmaster looks cool. He's appearing in a lot of media recently. Like he was in Spider-Man for PS4. He's going to be in this Black Widow movie, and he's going to be in that Avengers game that they need to fix the faces for.
Hmm.
So you wanna? All right. So Black Widow, Eternals, Doctor Strange 2, Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings, and Thor: Love and Thunder. Which one are you most excited?
Thor, probably.
For?
Doctor Strange. Might be interesting.
I'm hyped for Doctor Strange and Thor, and then in
Yeah.
descending order, Black Widow, Eternals, and Shang-Chi. And
Thor. Yeah, I think the new Thor movie is probably going to be. You think it's going to be like a prequel, or do you think it's going to
it's
follow him in
Thor.
space?
It's with him and Jane Foster.
Uh,
For getting Natalie Portman back, even though she said she never wanted to do another of these after Dark World. But I bet she sees the money now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
You know, for Endgame, that clip where Rocky Raccoon like sneaks up on her and like is about to stab her with the injection thing
Oh yeah.
for the Reality Stone.
Mm-hmm.
That's not her. It's just an old clip they had from the movie, like from an extra scene.
That's
They
funny.
just CGI'd Rocket Raccoon into the scene
Nice.
because, I mean, Natalie Portman's like an expensive actor to hire on.
Right.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
Yeah. Eternals is an interesting case because it's pretty much about. So the Eternals are created by the Celestials. Like Ego, the living planet, was a Celestial in the MCU. To fight the Deviants, which are like every mythological monster you could ever imagine. The Hydra was a Deviant. The Minotaur was a Deviant.
Hail Hydra.
Not that Hydra. But yeah, so that was Deviant, and the Eternals are sent to Earth to protect humans from the Deviants by the Celestials. They're sent to Earth by the Celestials. And I don't know who the main character is going to be. I've never read an Eternals comic in my life. That's why it's like low on my list. Black Widow, I think could be cool because Marvel hasn't really done a spy movie. Closest thing they've had is either Winter Soldier. Is like the closest spy thriller they have.
Yeah.
And Taskmaster, I think, is a really cool character, and he's probably going to be like the most superpowered character in the movie, unless they're just hiding some major plot point. Because his superpower is he can mimic and copy any like move in combat, so he can be like as good as Captain America, who's pretty much the best fighter in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
But it comes at the cost of his memories, so he loses his memory every time he like copies a new ability. Like the more he copies, the more he loses.
Yeah.
That's how he becomes a bad guy. He just pretty much forgets about who he used his past, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then Shang-Chi, I really hate because the subtitle is Legend of the Ten Rings. So it's going to be about the Mandarin, who is Iron Man's arch nemesis. So not only did they screw over the Mandarin in Iron Man 3 by making him a fake and doing the extremist plotline, which they should have just done.
I wouldn't say they ruined him in Iron Man 3. A lot of people like that.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that's at Walmart.
I don't remember Iron Man 3 very well, so
Iron Man screws over this budding young biochemist in like 1999, and that guy becomes like a hot dude who gains the power to like inject people with a substance, and there's a 50-50 chance they explode or get super healing powers with like heat breath and stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And Iron Man has to take the guy down, but the guy uses a fake terrorist organization called the Mandarin, or a fake terrorist called the Mandarin.
Oh yeah.
To like coerce the president and people.
Yeah, I remember
like,
that.
Right before his terror attacks.
Yeah, and
But
he ended up like, being like an actor.
An actor, exactly.
Okay.
So they like faked it out. But then this, the Legend of the Ten Rings. The Ten Rings are a Mandarin thing. So the Mandarin has these 10 rings. Each one controls like gives him a superpower. One gives him super speed. One lets him like travel through shadows. One is like a Cyclops laser beam. One is there's a bunch.
Right.
So they're a classic Mandarin thing. And the Mandarin is Iron Man's nemesis, essentially. He's the guy who kind of created Iron Man, because his terrorist organization kidnapped Tony Stark in the first place. And So Tony Stark made the Iron Man armor to escape them.
Yeah.
And so technically he kind of created Iron Man. But he wants to use his rings to subjugate mankind. And the thing about them is they are also a technological construct. They're just an alien thing. And the reason I hate this is because, so I don't know Shang-Chi from the comics, anything about him. I'm assuming this is going to be like a martial art, like a Chinese action flick type movie, but Marvelized, of course.
Mhm.
And I really think they shouldn't. I really hate the fact that they're doing the Mandarin as his main villain. Presumably, I mean, we know like next to nothing about the plot of this movie, besides the title and the main character. But I just hate the fact that it's the Mandarin being a Shang-Chi villain, who I've also, and this is just like an anecdotal evidence, but I'd never heard of Shang-Chi beforehand.
Mhm.
I'm like a decent comics buff.
Yeah.
So he kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I'd heard of everyone else on here. Like, well, actually, none of them are new, except for Shang-Chi and the Eternals, really. But still,
Yeah.
I'd heard of the Eternals. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think the title, it should not be called that, because the Winter Soldier is Bucky's terrorist name. Like, it should be Captain America and like the White Wolf, or whatever they want to call Bucky, because that's what they call him in Infinity War. It's White Wolf.
Yeah.
Or like or Wilson and Barnes or something. I don't know. Use their last names. It's not like he has a secret identity.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything else really?
Nope.
Okay, so
Alright.
want to do recommendations, I suppose.
Yep.
You guys. I'll go first. I'm gonna recommend Modern Warfare 2.
Oh.
I played it. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the multiplayer is still active, so I can still play that.
Right.
And the campaign's really like it's not long. It's like 8 hours or so, or 6 hours is how long I spent in the campaign and beat it on regular.
Right.
But it's good.
You got something ready, Zach, or no?
I guess. I'm thinking. I'm gonna recommend Monster Hunter World. Good game. Started playing it again. The multiplayer is still active. I don't really do the multiplayer that often, but
Well, that game only came out like not even a year ago, I think. So
yeah.
it should still be active.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good game. I'm not big into Monster Hunter, but it's still fun to play.
Yeah. And I guess going with the game thing, I'll just recommend Kerbal Space Program.
Nice.
Pretty old game, but I mean,
Still good.
still
Just
good.
because it's old doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah, and since it's more of like an animated style for graphics rather than realism, the
It's not
graphics
super
are
intensive.
underrated. Yeah, and it's definitely not intensive. I mean, my old computer couldn't run it, but that was because that was like an e-machine from 2007. So that couldn't run anything, including Minecraft, which can be run on just a regular office laptop.
Literally, Minecraft can be run on.
Pretty much anything. You can't say anything because it's not
It
anything.
can be run on like a Raspberry Pi, tiniest computer in the world. It can
If
be
it has
run
a
on
good
like your
processor,
crappy
yeah.
Kindle or phone or something.
But yeah, so KSP, there's decent amount of mods for it. Once you like get decent at the stock game and have pretty much done everything that you're capable of, mods can definitely bring some
The
new life
experience
to it.
of.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
especially visuals, because I will say the stock game doesn't look that good. So if you have a PC that can run better visuals, definitely would recommend getting some visual mods. But other than that, definitely good game. Would recommend.
All right.
So Zach never plays it.
I do sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Shh. Anyway,
Anyway.
All right.
we all
That's
done.
about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Talk to you later, listeners.
Yep. See you guys. All right. So, thanks for showing up. Whoever did, probably no one. Just friends. I'm gonna send you over to someone here. Here you can have Odie. Alright. Here you go. You guys have a good night. I'll see ya. Peace.